I moved to West Georgia in 2016. That's 10 years ago. Now I want to talk to you about would I still move here? If it was 2026, would I still move to West Georgia, specifically Douglasville? I'm Shahida Hill, your Douglas County Realtor. So I'm going to break this down in 4 areas because these were the areas of most importance to me at the time. And so I'm going to talk about the house that we're in the neighborhood, my family. So that will include schools and just, our quality of life, activities and recreation. I'm going to talk about safety because a lot of people talk about that in Douglasville. And the last thing I want to talk about is commuting, because one of the biggest reasons we moved here was because I was teaching in Paulding County, which is very close to where we live now, and we were living in Paulding County. And so it wasn't a big deal to me to commute from Douglasville to South Paulding, which is actually in Douglasville, but it's in the county of Paulding. It wasn't a big deal for me. The biggest deal was my husband having to drive to work, which he works in Buckhead. He didn't like living in Paulding County because Paulding County doesn't have easy access to highways, which Douglas County, we do have easy access to highways. So I'll talk about that in number 5. But first, let's start with the house in the neighborhood. So when we moved here specifically for the commute. We also moved here because my oldest child, who is actually going on 15 now, was going to start kindergarten. And we knew stability really mattered. So we didn't want to have to move him once he started school, friends and that sort of thing, keep him in the same school system. So we moved here when he was 5 and my daughter was 3. And so the house that we bought, we tried to buy it in the area that had the best schools, but we also wanted diversity. So we picked something that was diverse and was good at the time. Now, I would say 10 years ago, it was a little bit higher rated than it is now. So say that the elementary school might have been rated a 7, now it's probably a 6. And when the middle school might have been rated an 8, and now it's a 7. The high school is probably still rated I wasn't really looking at high schools at the time, but I think the high school that they're going to is rated a 7. When I say 7, I do CCRPI scores. I'll link that below. And that's what all my school videos that I've done on this channel, rating the schools, that's the score that I use. Again, I used to be a teacher, so that's what I use for the most part. So it hasn't changed that much. My kids, I'm going to get to my kids in a minute, but it hasn't changed that much. But that's why we moved. And the house that we bought was in it was about 200, I forget the exact price, but say 223,000, around that, low 200,000. And at the time it still is. I still live in the same house. 7 bedroom, 4 full bath, over 4,000 square feet house. And I mean, at that time, the house was on the market probably about 2 months. So it wasn't, I guess it was a buyer's market at that point. Things weren't we were the only offer on the house at the time, which is crazy. And so we bought the house. The seller, actually, her son was graduating from high school that year. I remember she's like, oh yeah, I'm downsizing. My oldest or my youngest just graduated from high school, and that's the high school that my son goes to now. So we've kind of come full circle here. Now the house is worth about $500,000, which is good. The pandemic helped a lot with that, getting the prices up. I don't think we would ever sell this house because you're not going to be able to find a 7 bedroom, 4 bath house for this price, even at $500,000. So we'll probably keep it in our family long term. I really want to move to a ranch house at some point. Well, not even a ranch. I want to move to a house. It has to have a porch. That's my main thing. I don't have a porch, and I really want a porch. So we probably will move to another house at some point, but this house would always stay in our family. So that's one thing. So I do think we made a great decision on the house that we bought, the neighborhood that we moved in. A lot of the children in our neighborhood were all around my son and daughter's age. They still kind of play with them. My kids learned how to ride their bikes in the neighborhood. They went to school with their friends. They still play basketball with them and water gun, whatever in the neighborhood. We are in a cul-de-sac, which is perfect. So I would say, yes, I would definitely move back to this neighborhood. I would definitely buy this house again. So I think when I do these videos, and I know I haven't done a video in a while. I'm going to pick it back up. But it's very important. I try to say this without saying this, but this is just not coming as a real estate agent, because a real estate agent cannot tell you or steer you to where you move. But the neighborhood is important. The schools are important if you have a family. So I would definitely make sure you're doing that ahead of time. I know when I first started this channel, or just I've seen over the years, people will see me in Publix, or they'll see me at parks, they'll see me different places. I know you. And I'm like, yeah, how do you know me? And they're like, from your channel on YouTube. I watched all your videos before I moved here. And I'm like, you didn't use me as your real estate agent, so no hard feelings. But if you're watching this and you're ready to sell, just let me know. But I know I'm responsible for getting a lot of people to move specifically to Douglasville or Douglas County over the years. So you're welcome. And thank you for a lot of people did use me. I'm not saying everybody didn't, but a lot of people did, and I appreciate that. But a few of y'all I've seen out and about, and I know you watched my video because you say something, but you didn't use me. But no hard feelings. I'm going to get you on the sell side. All right, or help your family and friends move here. All right, so number 2 is family. So I'm separating this a little bit because, like I said, my kids were 5 and 3. Now they are 13 and 15. One is in middle school, one is in high school. And they were recognized here as smart kids because they had a perfect score on some of their GMAS exams. So educationally, they have done really well. And like I said, we weren't going to like the 9 rated schools in the area. So I still believe they can get a good education in Douglas County. You just have to make sure that you're an active parent. I've been on the PTSO at all the schools my children have gone to, the elementary school. I'm the president of the middle school. So that's really important for you to be involved, know what's happening, know what resources are available to you. My kids do very well, not just in Douglas County, but nationally as well. So I'm happy with the school system. I'm happy with how close, like I had the principal's phone number. I used to work in big, large counties. I would never have the principal's phone number. Like, oh, just text me, or just not because I was a PTSO president, just because like, oh, if you have a concern, just let me know, call me. And I'm like, y'all give out your cell phone numbers. And I think that's a part of being in a smaller community or a smaller school system. And I know we have some drama going on now. I won't put that in the video, but in some of our high schools, if y'all know what I mean. But, I really kept close relationships with teachers, with administrators, and not just like being somebody to serve. I've been guest speakers at, different schools, not even for my kids, for other classes. So it's just been good to be a part of a good community. So I'm going to give the school and the decision we made to choose Douglas County to raise our children and send them to school. We made a good decision there. Number 3, activities and recreation. When I say I did so many City of Douglasville and Douglas County Parks and Rec, I did their summer camps. I did their breaks. We played baseball, recreational softball every year. And we built such a community that, like, my daughter plays middle school softball. Every school that we play, we know girls on those teams because they play with my daughter on rec, probably starting at 8 years old. So the community that same thing with my son, when we see the boys he used to play baseball with recreationally or whatever, we have that community. And that was, we signed them up for baseball or softball, probably like $100 or less, maybe $80 a season. And so we made sure they were always involved. Like we did gymnastics, we did swimming, we did everything they could do, but baseball and softball were the things that they stayed with. So I highly recommend City of Douglasville and Douglas County Parks and Rec. A lot of people are sleeping on those, but we did everything. The concerts, the Wind Down Wednesdays, anything Douglas County had or anything the City of Douglasville had, number one, it's going to be affordable. They were excellent programs over the years. And I just now that my kids are a little older, they have opinions on things. So I don't do as many of them. I do all of like the grown, like I took them to play bingo before. Like we just do everything that's available because again, it's low cost. You don't have to travel far. I've gone to Screen on the Green. I've gone to the concert series, Robin Thicke and El DeBarge. I love all of those. So it's a great place if you want to get involved, if you want to get your children involved at a low cost. All right, let's talk about safety. I just feel like Douglasville, maybe not the whole West Georgia, but Douglasville gets a bad rap, I guess, on safety. I've never had any issues in the 10 years that I've lived here where I've not felt safe. I've been robbed or my car's been broken into, nothing like that. No issues. My husband's had no issues. My kids have had no issues. The people that I know have had no issues. So I really think this is my perspective on Douglasville when things happen. They're generally speaking, anything that's a major thing that happens, it's not people that you don't know. Like there are things that you knew that other person, people are involved in different things. I'm not involved in things like that. The people that I associate with are not involved with things like that. So, I've never had an issue. My close friends, people I work with at school, and I work with at school, but, people that my kids go to school with don't have issues. I just don't agree with it, I guess. I know there's some data out there, but you have to think about the city of Douglasville versus Douglas County. Think of it as two separate things because a lot of the data, like city of Douglasville is very small and it has its own school, it's not a school system, it has its own police department. And then you have the sheriff, which is over the whole county. And so I think a lot of those numbers are, we have a mall, we have things that go on in some of, like in a small area. So the numbers might be higher for that area. But in general, I don't live in the city of Douglasville, but I do a lot of things in the city. So, and my address is a Douglasville address. I don't have any issues. So I wouldn't worry about it if I was you. Number 5, and this is my last one, is the commute. So again, we moved here because we're closer to I-20. Now, a lot of other people have moved here because they wanted to be close. Like we can get to Atlanta on a Sunday morning, 25 minutes or less. We are very close to Atlanta. We are very close to the highway. But if you're going in high traffic times, rush hour times, it's going to take much longer than that. So you have to be really, like our highway sometimes goes from 4 lanes to 3 lanes. It's kind of crazy. We really need a flyover ramp. So I recommend if you're somebody that is moving to Douglas County because it's close and you have to commute daily to work, a lot of my close friends that live here work from home. So I don't hear them going out. I hear my husband going out still. It's better than Paulding County, much better than Paulding County, but it does take him a while. Sometimes he'll leave and he'll get there in 35 minutes, 40 minutes, right? And then sometimes he'll leave at that same exact time and it's going to take an hour and a half. So you have to be really strategic. There are multiple ways out of Douglas County, I would say that. You can get on Highway 166, you can get on I-20, you can get on Veterans Memorial. It all depends on when you leave, how you're going. So have a plan to get out of Douglas County because there's a lot of traffic and we don't have as many lanes. We don't have as many express lanes, that sort of thing. So I would say that. But all in all, if it was 2026 again and I had young children, 3 and 5, I would give Douglasville another shot. I do feel also because everything in Douglasville was so affordable, our house was affordable. We didn't move even when, prices went up and that sort of thing. We kept our kids in the same school. We didn't do private school. Things like that have really allowed us to build wealth and build community around our children. And that's important to us. Our parents both live in South Atlanta and our moms live in Atlanta and Fairburn. My dad lives in Dallas. That's still in Paulding County. I have a sister that lives in Atlanta. So we're close to get to all of those places. So it's a great location to be in. And again, on the weekends, you can get to all of these places really quickly. Our church is in Southwest Atlanta. So again, we get to all of these places really quickly. And it's just a great place to raise a family, put community around your family, and it's in a great location. So I would recommend it again, even 10 years later. If you have any questions about West Georgia, Douglasville, and when I say West Georgia, I'm focused on Cobb County, like West Cobb, Carroll County, Douglas County, South Fulton County. Those are the primary areas that I work in. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Put it in the comments. Thank you so much.